Hey, everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
You know, we haven't talked about The Flash in a long time, and my selection process for this show is,
Oh!
yes. So,
Hey, what about this?
yeah. Sometimes I'll think, oh, this will be a fun one. Wait, how many Batman and or Spider-Man episodes have we done in a row? Okay, Flash it is. So it's Flash Terminal Velocity from Mark Waid and a number of artists, including Salvador Larroca. This is, of course, before Salvador Larroca adapted his style to a style that I find reprehensible. But, you know, it works really well in this story, I suppose. But there's a number of other artists on this book, including Jose Marzan Jr., Carlos Pacheco, Mike Waringo, Oscar Jimenez, and Sergio Borges.
Why is everyone so mad on the cover? Look how mad everyone
Because
is.
it's 1995 and everyone's got to be cool.
Well, they're also being forced to run.
And as we've established, nobody likes to run.
Nope.
Even runners hate it.
Yeah, what about the runner's high, though?
Yeah, I used to run. I was a runner. I have trophies to prove that I ran. Doesn't exist. It's a myth that was invented by runners to trick you into running.
Why would they care?
What the hell kind of fun is that? Sometime between Barry Allen and Wally West in the transitional phase of making The Flash, they realized that Batman had blank eyes and he looked way cooler. And so how about everyone with cowls has blank eyes? And Flash looked 100% cooler to young me. This book actually was just part of Mark Waid's run on Wally West Flash, and it also dovetails into the 100th issue of The Flash, and Mark Waid was, you know, pioneering comics in the 90s and understood the assignment that was put forth, which was make people buy Flash and get people to buy Flash who don't normally buy Flash. You know, we're hitting 100 issues, we need people to get excited or hyped. And how do we do that in the early 90s? Well, we gotta kill people, we gotta replace them, we gotta get new mantles, the whole thing. And with Flashes, you know, he's a legacy character. Let's square some circles and also establish some new lore. Waid was never afraid to do that. And so it is with this. You know, you look at this cover for Flash Terminal Velocity and you see no fewer than 5 speedsters running at you. And Barry isn't even alive anymore. But there's still no shortage of speedsters. Now, add like 3 or 10 more speedsters to this roster, which we've established, of course, is like a thing that Flash fans are never against. You know, like if you...
More people that run.
Oh, that's fun. That's great. They're never against it. I don't know any Flash fans that are like, it's too crowded. This is like the Bat Family. I am like that. The Bat Family.
Yeah, the Bat Family's ridiculous.
It is overstuffed. There are too many characters in the Bat Family for the loner Batman to have to deal with. And then sometimes they'll all be in one space. They'll be like, ha.
It works with his psyche being like, oh, I'm a loner. No, you're not, Bruce.
You're not.
You want a family.
You used to be. For like 1 year before you got a Robin. You had 1 year where you were a loner, and it didn't work out. You were bad at it, and even then, you worked with Alfred and Gordon.
Nobody went back to it after Jason Todd died.
Yes, that's true.
So he had a couple years.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah.
A year and a half? I don't know. How long before he got...
Jason died in 88. Tim was introduced in 89.
Okay.
But not even a full calendar year was there a new sidekick. But... also, there was Nightwing at that point, who occasionally bombed in. But anyway, so there's a big overstuffed family of Flashes, but seemingly unconnected. You know, they will help each other out and hang out and talk,
right?
But there's no unifying aspect outside of the fact that they all run fast. That's all you have.
And they all have some kind of Flash-like name, or it's
no? I mean, like you got Max Mercury, which is nothing like a Flash.
Right, that's not a Flash.
You got Jesse Quick.
But Jay Garrick was the Flash.
Jay Garrick, he was the Flash. In fact, the first Flash.
And isn't one of them like Kid Flash or something? I don't know.
Wally used to be Kid Flash and then ascended to Flash when Barry died. The young one you're seeing here is Impulse.
Oh, he's not a Flash?
Really? You called him Impulse? You didn't call him Flashlight?
No. Impulse is a way better name. And it's a great name instead of Kid Flash.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Impulse was actually introduced and created by Mark Waid during this run.
Oh.
Impulse is Barry Allen's grandson from the future, who was born with a rare condition that accelerated his age, that forced him to have to be kept in like a virtual reality stasis. And this warped his mind because he knew he was in a fictitious reality, so he knew none of his actions had consequences. Because Mark Waid is also talking about what it's like to be a teenager, you see.
You grew up to be a
metaphor.
monster.
Well, he didn't grow up, you see. They sent him to the past so they could find a cure for his problem, which they found by, get this, making him run really fast. Impulse is then an established character here in the present of our distant past, 1995.
Right.
And Impulse immediately was kind of a hit with fans. Not necessarily Flash fans, because Wally has been going through a journey ever since he became Flash after Crisis. You know, like establishing his personality, establishing him as the Flash, making sure the audience will accept him, and then establishing his new personality post-Flash Ascension. And basically what they found was he was kind of a dick. Like, he was kind of too self-serious, and so they needed to go through a few story arcs to even him out. And essentially the way they did that was they made him fall in love with a beautiful woman named Linda. There's also a retcon that when Wally was a kid, his parents were going through, like, essentially a divorce, and no one was really very encouraging to him, which explains why he was so gravitated towards Barry. You know, somebody he's not really necessarily related to.
Someone who ran away from all their problems.
He didn't run away from his problems. Barry was always very much straight-laced and a stickler. But Wally was inspired to be better by a person he can't remember. Like, a person showed up at a family reunion while he was a kid and basically gave him all the words of encouragement and wisdom that he needed in order to get onto the right track. And we never knew who that was until 0 Hour, when Wally West ran so fast that he died, and then was not in 0 Hour anymore. And they were like, who's gonna be the Flash now? And then after 0 Hour, they were like, he didn't die, no. And so, where did he go? Well, he ran so fast that he ended up going back in time and being the guy who gave himself the advice in the first place.
Right.
And he was kind of like stuck and trapped, and that's actually in this collection that we have here, where he was trapped in the past, and he's like, what's happening? Like, I didn't know you could go back in time
from running so fast.
I thought you'd need like a treadmill or something for that.
Right.
And so he found himself kind of like falling through time and being unstuck, where he was physically there, but they couldn't see him.
Well, and then falling through time, you need a time parachute or a time trampoline.
There we go. But then he would eventually get caught up with himself long enough to be there for a minute, interact with the time period he was in before getting quantum leaped into the next time.
Okay.
And so you'll see in the 0 issue of The Flash, which is connected with this, which explains where Wally was during 0 Hour, he's just kind of like explaining to the reader Wally's history and what he's been doing up until this point, while also making it a relevant issue that has ramifications on the book you're reading physically right now. Which I'm like, thank you, Mark. You know how to write comic books. So, you know, he sees stuff that happened already during Mark Waid's run, and he's like, boy, I hope I don't mess this up, because I barely survived like this adventure over here, and if I interact with it in any way, something might change, and then maybe I'll die or something.
Yeah, but technically you're back in time. The butterfly effect says you could change anything.
Well, yeah, but I don't.
It's gonna screw something up.
Right, but I don't want to do that. So because he's physically there, but also he's intangible. So he's like, as long as I can just watch, I can't really change anything.
Okay.
And Mark Waid is inventing something that will be fundamental and explain everything when it comes to Flashes.
Oh.
Which is what he was doing a little bit before that when he invented hyper time for 0 Hour.
Oh yeah, that just happened.
Yeah. So anyway,
they reference it right at the beginning of the book, 0 Hour.
Yeah,
Boom,
0 Hour. Well, because this is a 0 issue that's a tie-in to 0 Hour.
Okay.
So it needs to directly reference it while also being relevant to the Flash book.
So this event starts with a 0 issue for 0 Hour.
That's right.
Okay.
But Mark Waid is also just so good at it that he makes it also relevant to the story arc he's setting up.
Oh, that's cool.
'Cause he's like, look, if it is a tie-in, if it's gonna be a tie-in, and theoretically should reach a wider audience, then I want to sell this new arc I'm going to be writing.
Okay.
Terminal Velocity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
100th issues, they should establish like change and new stuff and new status quos, and so I got to set all that up too. And also, I've introduced Max Mercury in my previous story. And I've introduced Impulse. And I have all these ideas for Impulse. But DC likes Impulse so much, they want to put him on the Titans. And they want to give him his own book. And so Impulse is quickly snowballing away from me. Impulse is going from like a plot device to tell you something interesting about Wally West into his own effing character who will influence the DC universe himself. Shit. I guess I'll also write that book. And so he will.
Instead of calling him Impulse, you should call him Warp Speed.
What? We're not looking for notes here. This is established. Impulse has already been. You're 30 years late to the party, my friend.
Impulse is slow, like Impulse Speed.
Oh, yes. If you're going by Star Trek rules, that's true.
Wow, we were just
like what?
Ben was making a
Star Trek reference, and we didn't get it.
Did not get it. That's
to be fair. You don't expect that from me.
That's
so
true.
I know. There's no reason I would have thought that that's what you were going for.
But
That's
here we
amazing.
are. But yeah,
Okay.
so Impulse is going to get his own book while this is going on.
Okay, in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, it will take
So
place after
he only
this.
gets to be Wally West's sidekick for like a second.
Or
was he ever his
He
sidekick?
was never.
Oh, okay.
But
He's
everyone
just another
also,
guy.
so Impulse shows up from the future and they fix everything, and now they're like, here's this speedster who is related to Barry Allen, your mentor, and he needs guidance, Wally. Even though in every portrayal of you, especially on a team book, you're still kind of figuring out how to be the Flash yourself.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he should go back further in time and talk to his grandfather.
Yeah, maybe go hang out with Barry, please. But
I don't have time for you, Impulse.
he doesn't. But Wally's like, I don't want that. Like, I'm barely out of my 20s myself.
Right.
I'm
not suited to have a sidekick.
yeah. And
Or
also,
mentee.
at least as far as Wally's concerned, I just got out of being a sidekick myself.
Right.
Which is funny because, like, Wally, I understand now why so many people in their 30s and 40s identify with Wally West. Like, Wally West is the millennial superhero. He's a guy who's like, everyone is looking at going like, you're a grown-up. And he's like, whoa. Like, okay, so just because I was born in the 80s doesn't necessarily, oh shit. Should I be
crap.
farther along?
By definition, I am a grown-up. Oh, no.
But I don't feel like one at all.
But I don't have things together.
Yeah, my life is barely held together by a thread. I'm still like thinking about playing the field with women, and people are telling me like I should be a father by now.
Yeah, my grandfather had like a 10-year-old by this point.
Yeah, my grandfather owned property and had multiple children.
Yeah. Oops.
I barely have an apartment.
All right, so he goes back. He's intangible.
Yeah, so Wally goes on a merry adventure through the past and also inspires himself to
And
be
he just
Wally.
looks at some stuff.
Yes.
But so he does inspire himself, so then he can become tangible?
Yes, but not at will. It just like he's like, oh shit, I can move and stuff.
Okay.
Like at one point he ends up at the family reunion where he needs to inspire himself, and he's like, I'm physically here. Yeah. Like he realizes, like as he's observing himself, like hanging out in his room all by himself, oh man, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I have to fulfill my destiny and go in there and say some words of encouragement, which also kind of factors into the whole millennial thing. Like you need to inspire. Like no one's gonna save you.
Yeah.
No one's coming to inspire you or give you any words of wisdom. You're gonna have to find it from yourself. You assume that someone will inevitably show up and tell you how it's all gonna work, but it turns out that person is you. So he goes on this adventure while 0 Hour happens. And I think Wave Rider brings his empty costume, so everyone's like, including Linda, his girlfriend, who is basically like the Flash version of Lois Lane. Like she's a reporter and she's hot-headed and she's a brunette and she, inspires Wally to be a better superhero and all that stuff. But she's fun. She's her own character. Don't come at me, Linda fans. I like Linda Park too.
Right.
But there's some parallels you could draw.
Right. She's not wholly original.
So anyway, but everyone's like, Flash is dead, and we're used to this, Like when we have a crisis, usually a Flash dies. So, it was 10 years, but I guess Wally's dead, and we got to pick a new Flash, and everyone's sad. And meanwhile, Linda.
Wait, Wally's dead?
Yeah, from 0
Well,
Hour.
from 0 Hour, he vanished.
Yeah, he vanished just
In a
like
burst of
Barry
energy.
did.
Yeah.
Barry turned into a skeleton and disappeared, and all that was left was his costume.
Right.
So as like a kind of homage to that, when they made Wally run, he ended up becoming a costume too, but he didn't turn into a skeleton.
Right, no skeleton.
No
so
skeleton
it
for Wally.
implies
So
that he might still be
no
around
body, no
somewhere.
death, and
Yeah.
so Wally's out there.
Yeah.
This is also Wade laying the breadcrumbs for how we're gonna bring Barry back, even though Wade has nothing to do with bringing Barry back, despite the fact that he also wrote a story arc called The Return of Barry Allen. But we did that story, and it's also it's a misdirect.
Yeah.
But so. Everyone's sad because Wally's dead. We lost another Flash. Fortunately, we have some spares. No one is talking about that yet because Linda is also refusing to admit that Wally's dead. So, basically, Linda prepares her place for Wally's return. She has like a welcome back Wally banner and stuff. Like she's completely in this position of like, I'm not going to accept this.
Every day I get a new cake.
Yep, I throw out the old one. And so
No, I ate the old one.
Linda, no! So anyway, everyone's trying to like convince Linda to get over it.
Right.
And then Wally shows up. And they're like, oh!
It's like out of the blue.
Well, he appears outside and he's like, oh man, I didn't die and I'm back from the past. I went on this crazy adventure in the Zero issue and now I'm back in my own book and I'm physically here again and I went through some crazy crap and I've learned something about myself that I'm afraid to admit, and I've seen some shit that I didn't see in the Zero issue, but I definitely saw, so I'm gonna retcon that. Or I just withheld that information from the audience in the Zero issue and I will give it to you later in the next issue. Either way, I have pathos now. And I'm gonna pretend I don't to everyone around me, which will be awkward. And so he shows up and he's like, oh, and he hugs everybody. And then Linda's like, I knew it, and they make out. And then, Wally's like, all right, well, this is a cool party, but I gotta go. And he runs away. And they're like, what the crap, man?
You just got here.
Yeah.
That's
and so
weird.
he goes and has an adventure with the Justice League.
He's like, whoa, I knew I was alive the whole time.
Right.
Right.
Coming back
so for
to
me,
here, it's normal.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm back. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
nice that
I
you
got
threw me
shit
a
to
party
do.
and
Right, but,
everything, but
yeah.
I didn't ask you to do that,
No.
and I didn't die anyway.
Right.
So
So I don't have any
you
sense of
shouldn't
relief.
have bothered. That's
Well,
what I'm
and
saying.
the reality is what happened was Wally got messed up and he saw a vision of the future and he doesn't know how to reconcile these two bits of information because in one element he saw himself running so fast that he basically dies. Like he runs so fast that he becomes energy and disappears forever. And also, in the adventure in which he does that, Linda dies. She's blasted by a laser beam.
Oh.
And so he wants to make sure that neither of those things happen, but usually his solution to these things is running really fast, but irony of ironies, if I run fast, I'll become the energy that won't be around to save Linda. So shit, what do I do?
Or I become the energy that kills Linda.
Right, he's not. We're
Oh.
it's not that. In fact, Wade doesn't even tease
That's
that's it.
unfortunate.
Which could have been interesting because he also sets up the fact that there's like a lightning bolt that strikes the chemicals that make Barry into the Flash, and then while explaining that history to Wally, the exact same effing thing happens to Wally. While saying in the same breath, there's no way this could happen again.
Yeah, lightning doesn't strike the same cliche twice.
Well, apparently with flashes, it sure does. Especially when Jeff Johns retcons that Barry Allen is the same lightning bolt that made that strike in the first place. Anyway, we're dealing with all this.
That's fantastic. If Barry's the lightning bolt,
Yes.
Wally could totally kill Linda.
Well, that's true. And that's the thing is like if all of this was connected, which it technically is because it's, linear storytelling, but everyone knew what they were going to be doing, you could imply that Wally becomes the lightning bolt that kills Linda or gives her super speed, but either way isn't because that's not the story
Well,
we're
it kills her
telling.
career.
Yeah.
Because now she's a speedster.
Yeah, now you
she can't do anything else.
You can't do anything else, you gotta run. But no, it's a laser. It comes out of a laser cannon. Wielded by Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. But not that Cobra. This Cobra starts with a K and is led by a guy named Cobra, also spelled with a K. They suck, and they're the villain of the story.
What is
and
his military rank?
Right. He doesn't have one. It's a private enterprise.
Okay.
They're actually landowners. They're more like barons, I guess.
Does he run a gym?
Yeah, no. He runs a evil terrorist organization that is dressed like moron snake people. they suck, and I hate Cobra, and they're boring, and Mark Waid knows it. And that's why he wastes them on this story, because the story is about Wally running fast or not wanting to and turning in energy, and Linda's dark fate. Also, Cobra is the problem. Like, we don't even... Like, when Wally ends up trying to...
Oh my god, yeah, those are...
Yeah.
They're snake
Not
guys.
snake people.
Snake.
No, they're snake-themed.
Right. They're snake wannabes.
Yeah, so when...
Yeah, they revere Tulsa Doom.
Yeah, they're essentially the Serpent Society from Marvel, but in DC, and again, they're a terrorist.
Snake people just look cool.
I mean, like, it's a
the
smart
universal
move.
truth.
Man, I remember when Kevin Feige announced that the third Captain America movie was called Captain America versus the Serpent Society, and people were like, "Oh my God, that's kind of cool," and they were like, "That's stupid. No, stop cheering." That was a placeholder thing to hide the fact that it was Civil War.
That was a stupid joke.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna fight the Serpent Society. He's gonna fight Iron Man.
You were supposed to be like, what?
Yeah, you're supposed to be like, oh, and then be even more excited when it was Civil War. Not kind of be disappointed we're not going to have snake monsters.
You've ruined it.
By the way, you could still do the Serpent Society.
Yeah, nobody's stopping you from doing Serpent Society.
It's not like someone else took it. And it ain't like DC's going to suddenly bring in the Cobra team.
Right.
It's not like James Gunn is like, wow, thank goodness they didn't use Serpent Society, because now we could use Cobra. Like, unless they do, because if you've seen those behind-the-scenes photos of the Superman movie, that movie looks like it could have Cobra in it, big time. Anyway, that's the villain. The villain of the book is Cobra. The villain of the book is Wally. I mean, like, Wally is his own enemy in this story, because, he's a dick.
Right.
Because there's a lot going on. Like,
from his revelations, he's
trying to protect people
out.
from it, but he's also insecure. Also, everyone's like, hey, but don't forget about Impulse. You gotta train him. And meanwhile, Linda's like, hey, I love you. And like, maybe we should take this to the next level. And Wally's like,
yikes.
Right.
I'm kind of dealing with a lot right now.
Wow, what a millennial. I mean, look, I understand that all of you think that I should be at this milestone by now. I just feel like I haven't had enough time between like this thing and this thing. Like,
I like Just Died.
I like Just Died. Could I please like have like a week?
Not only did I just die, I had to like go through time and things.
I had to inspire myself.
Yeah.
So they foist Impulse on Wally, and Wally is not hiding the fact that he does not want Impulse around.
That's not going to go over
Is he
too well.
constantly running away from him?
I mean, yes, but like, that's the nature of his industry. But, he'll be saying things like, come on, kid, let's do this. And then Impulse will be like, no, because he's a teenager and he's impulsive. And, remember, he was also environmentally trained to ignore consequence.
He's
Yeah,
much
to
harder.
be a sociopath.
as far as Wade's concerned, he's a teenager because he doesn't believe that consequences
But Wally
can
West
happen.
was a teenager too, but he wasn't put into this insane situation.
I'm telling a story. I'm using Impulse to specifically talk about being. No,
it's more of a metaphor
Wally
than a character.
was a teenager.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't tell stories about Wally being a teenager. Mm-hmm. Wally had been a teenager, like many people who live long enough. Impulse is invented to be a teenager. Essentially, Mark Waid is using Impulse as a character for his potential audience to kind of like project themselves onto. Right. And if that's the case, he's using impulses to kind of mirror their own, like the reader's own, and warn against it. Like, obviously, teenagers reject consequences and don't believe that they apply to them. But they do, and here is your stand-in who thinks like you do, but in a more obvious way. If I just put a teenager in here whose name is Mark, and Mark has no powers, but he is a teenager, and he thinks that he's invincible, and nothing he does will have any consequences, he just looks like an asshole.
Yeah, you can't really learn from that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can, but it's more work.
You probably won't absorb the lesson as a teenager so much.
It's not really
you might just reject it out of hand.
Right. It's not exactly an allegory. That's just more like yelling at kids on your lawn.
This is what you were like.
You're this.
You're this. See how annoying this is?
But that is Impulse.
You piece of shit.
Impulse is, you're this though.
Yeah, but at least he can run fast.
But at least he has powers and a nifty costume. So
Yeah.
you can look past a
So
lot
I'm
of
not
that.
going to just dismiss him out of hand.
Unless you're reading the Flash book and you're like, why is there this annoying teenage sidekick
Right, unless
here?
you just like the Flash and you don't want to deal with all this bullshit.
All these goddamn Flashes who are like jockeying for attention. You know, we
Right.
just
Can I
introduced
just have a
Max
Flash
Mercury.
adventure,
Like,
please?
Please? So,
We just got Wally back.
Yeah.
Do we really need to focus on somebody else?
right, but like, also that's what Flash books are. You know?
Right.
And this whole book is about Wally, despite the fact that this book also tells you the origin of Max Mercury finally. And it's like, but who cares?
But you want me to care about the origin of Max Mercury, and you're also introducing me to Impulse?
Impulse. And don't forget about Johnny and Jesse Quick, who are also in this book for no reason. And don't forget about Barry's widow, and Linda, and Cobra. And also Batman shows up later. But anyway,
I'd love it if Cobra was just like, we have a plan, we're gonna do things.
that's it.
We're just going to be over here.
Well, and like, they see everything going on with Wally, they're like, we're just gonna
Let's go fight Green Arrow.
stop.
Sounds like he's got a
It looks
lot
like
on
a
his
lot's
plate.
happening.
You know, why don't we
I don't
just
think he's going to really have time to fight with us. We need somebody who's...
why don't we just delay our plans? Like for like 6 months. Just
Our
get that
plans
It's not really
are-
fair,
It's not fair.
to go after him right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna release every snake from every reptile house in the zoo.
Oh yeah, no, their crimes also aren't snake themed. Like they
Oh, they just wear snake stuff and commit crimes.
Yes.
Two
And
hiss
unrelated
at each other.
concepts.
I mean, certainly. Well, they also have like half snake men who are super strong.
Oh.
Also, the
Oh, they
leader
take
had
it
a
pretty far.
cane that was a snake.
Yes.
That then turned into a snake.
Yes.
Oh.
Because Cobra also kills no less than 2 underlings who screw up. One of them is crushed to death by a snake man, and the other one is like, please don't crush me to death with a snake man. And he's like, okay. And then his staff turns into a snake and it bites him to death.
Bites him to death.
Yeah. So anyway, Wally's trying to deal with Impulse, and also he's trying to hide the truth from Linda, which shouldn't be hard because Wally saw Linda's future and no one else was there, so all he has to do is not tell her about it.
Right.
But also,
We
Wade
can't
is,
keep a secret, so
well,
it's a big
no,
problem
Wade
for
is
him.
also trying to tell you that like lying to people you love sucks, and you should like include them in your shit.
That is true.
I
And so,
see.
you know, when he clearly is having a problem, like, okay, so he's at Linda's place, and Linda's like, oh, I didn't see you there. You're just like sitting. And Wally never does that. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I was just hanging out for 10 minutes. And she's like, that's weird. Like, you're a Flash, but also you're Wally, and Wally never sits still. So, like, why are you just hanging out? Like, Wally's doing things that are really out of character. And so this is, it's you bailing on the party you didn't know that I was throwing for you, and also you sitting for 10 minutes that makes me think like there's something going on. And so Wally's like, I'm okay. And he thinks to himself, like, I'm not lying. And then he's like, and
Yeah,
you'll
I'm
be
not
okay.
lying, but I'm also not telling the full truth.
Yeah, like, it's a half-truth and a lie of omission, but still...
Yeah, I'm okay. You're not gonna be okay.
No. And it's gonna be fine. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope so.
I don't know. That's a weird. Like, should you tell her? I don't know if it's a bad idea to keep that for. Because, like, what does it even mean?
Well, in the story.
Like, I had a vision that you died.
Yeah.
And it really bothers
Well,
me.
but it was also
Well, it's
very
not a vision,
specific.
right?
It
It's
was.
like-
I saw you die.
Yeah.
I like almost went to the future. He calls it a vision because it's not like when he goes into the past and he's physically watching stuff happen. He like sees something happen.
Yeah, like,
but he
maybe
sees
it's
like a
like-
cannon shoot a laser fought by Cobra.
Yeah, maybe you're hallucinating. Like, I don't know. Maybe you have mental illness.
Yeah. Well, also I'm turning into energy when I go too fast.
Well, yeah. I mean, that
So,
did happen.
Yeah. So he takes Impulse, and they're like gonna go take down one of Cobra's bases because Cobra attacked them in a previous story, and so they know where it is.
So, like,
And
now
so-
that I'm back from the past, let's go take care of Cobra.
Well, in the way that so here's what Wally's plan is. I know that Cobra fires a laser at a certain point in time to kill Linda.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
they
dismantle
killed
Cobra.
Yes.
Oh,
So what
okay.
I need to do is I need to speed run my adventure where I fight Cobra. And if I beat them quick enough, then
put
they'll
that
never
back
be
up.
at the point where Linda gets,
I see.
lasered. And
Right.
also, I need to do that while not going at my top speed so I don't turn into energy and stuff.
Because that's
And-
the thing I got to worry about now.
Exactly. And I have to also make sure that Impulse is involved because he's part of the future vision. And so I need him in there, and I need him to be better than he is because he sucks. And if maybe he's better, he can help prevent that dark future from happening as well. And so he's really hard on Impulse because Impulse doesn't want to have any of it. He's
Right.
like, I
You have
know,
to save Linda with me.
but he also doesn't want to tell Impulse what it is because he doesn't want Impulse to
Like,
make
Impulse,
fun
you
of him
need
or
to be
something.
better for no reason.
Well, because
You're not
it's
good enough yet.
It's just really important that you're better, and you're not, and it drives me nuts.
What do you care, man? What do you
Yeah,
care?
and that is Impulse. He's like, what is your problem, man?
Also, if
Why you riding me,
Impulse is
man?
fixed, why don't they send him back to the future?
Oh yeah, what is he even doing
I
here?
don't want to write a book about a kid in the future. Those Legion of Superhero books sell like shit.
Well, that's the thing. We need him to be a character, so he has to be.
So he has to be here. And so, yeah. By the way, they're trying to figure out like what his name is going to be. You know,
Right.
and so
His
Wally
superhero
suggests Kid Flash because that's what I used to be, and maybe
Right.
it'll endear me to you a little bit. And then Impulse immediately like cuts between an actual couple, makes out with the female in the couple, and then goes, "I told you, I'm Impulse because I'm impulsive."
I was gonna say we should call you Assault. She
Anyway.
doesn't even see him.
No, she just.
It's not like she was like looking at him.
I mean, her boyfriend sees her.
well, yeah, but he's like behind them.
Oh man, I'm gonna get her.
Pick up and get her.
That's the
It's
only
insane.
instance of
And
sexual
Wally's just like, he's just moving on.
Moving on. I don't have time to unpack that. Let's just
We're
go.
gonna get into that later.
One thing
Let's
at a time.
hope that she doesn't really cognitize that anything happened.
Or that could ever happen again. How many speedsters are there? How often could this occur? How often does it occur?
Right.
No, you just have to take my word for it. Everyone's cool,
Yeah,
except for him, and he's from the future, and he doesn't know.
sorry.
I'm sorry. He just doesn't. He doesn't know any better.
I'm working on it.
So they go to
horrific.
Cobra's base and they like fight Cobra, you know, and Wally's trying to figure it out, and you know, Impulse is just like, just punch everybody as fast as you can, ha 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 ha, until he realizes like Wally is slowing down. You know, he's like, oh, like, there's something wrong with you. Okay, like just say that. You know. Meanwhile,
no, there's nothing wrong with me.
they find out that like Cobra is trying to generate an exorbitant amount of power for some reason, which will be revealed later, and
For a giant sun lamp so they can
warm
warm their
up
cold blood.
and sleep after having a big meal. But yeah, no. So Impulse just destroys it because he's an asshole, and he's like, no, now we won't know where it was going and why they were doing it. Like, I'm trying to dismantle Cobra fast, but you're just delaying it. You're just getting me to destiny. You stupid idiot. You're such a stupid kid. I hate you. You're the worst. And he just like melts down at Impulse, and Impulse is like, and then just runs away. Actually, Wally runs away. Wally's the one. He's like,
Oh.
you idiot. You know, all I want to do is save my girlfriend and not turn into energy, and you just, yeah, he just runs away. And Impulse is like, whoa.
If I didn't run away, I was gonna pimp slap you like 3,000
Yeah,
times
yeah.
in a second.
I had to run so far that I wouldn't be able to get to you.
So then Wally decides he's going to talk to Linda because he ran away from Impulse so fast that he started turning energy. Like, he runs into Linda's house,
Oh.
he hides in there, Linda finds him, she's like, all right, you gotta come clean with me, you gotta explain it. And he's like, listen, all right, since I literally can't hide what I look like from you, I guess I'll be honest.
So he came back, but he came back wrong.
Yeah, from
Came
the
back,
0
like,
hour.
damaged. Yeah.
Right. So
How do we fix this?
So he proceeds to like explain to Linda like his speed problem and the like impulse problem, and so then he realizes like, I need to talk to Max Mercury because Max Mercury is also like kind of a guru, like he's this
yeah?
secret
Why?
sage.
Well, because he's old.
Who
Yeah.
decided he was a guru?
They all did. Mark Wade when he invented him.
Right.
So, you know.
So now everyone just says that he is.
Yes.
And so he is.
Yeah. And also Max Mercury, like, he gives off this air of, you know, sage-like.
Really seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, and he also acts like it. He says, like, I know what I'm talking about. I've been there.
Been where?
Everywhere and every when. I'm older than Jay Garrick. Like, Jay Garrick was the oldest Flash because he fought in World War II, but I'm
he's super
before
old.
that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, did you ever run fast enough to turn into energy?
Almost.
Almost? How
Yeah.
would you know?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he's like running around trying to find Max Mercury, but like, you don't find Max Mercury finds you. And then he ends up bumping into Impulse, and he's like, all right, Impulse, listen. And then Impulse punches him in the face. And he's
no,
like,
you
piece
listen,
of
old
shit."
man.
Yeah, and then while they're running, they end up bumping into Cobra agents who teleport in front of them. And because the point is that Cobra has bases all over the DC universe, particularly in America. Like, they have a whole bunch of secret bases in America, and they have like secret double Cobra agents who pose as Americans to monitor activity so they can facilitate their evil schemes.
Well, yeah.
Which is world domination, of course.
If they're
Right.
fighting the Justice League, you want to have people in the U.S. be like, all right, where are they? What are they doing?
Yes, and so, Cobra sees some flashes, that's Impulse and Wally running, and like one of the agents reports to Cobra, so they teleport some guys to go fight the Flashes, and then so Impulse and Wally are like, all right, let's put aside our differences for a minute to kick the shit out of these guys. And so they do.
So the Cobra has a squad of people that are volunteering to fight the fastest man ever to have lived.
Yes. Even though Wally still thinks he's slower than Barry. Wally hasn't yet been established to be faster than
we
Barry.
don't know yet. Okay.
We don't know. So, anyway,
So
they
wait a
fight them.
minute. So he hasn't gone faster than Barry. So he's now. It's plausible that
Yes.
he might turn into energy if he goes that fast.
That's right,
Because
exactly.
he's never tested it before.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I was confused by that. So I'm like, doesn't he go really fast all the time? But he hasn't yet done
He hasn't
that.
yet gone that fast.
I see. Okay.
And in fact, the last time he did was in 0 Hour
Right,
when he
when he
got
disappeared.
into time and
Right.
stuff.
So it seemed to validate the idea that you just can't run that fast.
If you run that
Wally.
fast, it'll kill you or
Yeah.
it'll make you something else.
You're breaking the laws of the universe or
Yes,
whatever.
yes, exactly. But actually, it's not that you're breaking any universal laws. You're tapping into something that was previously unestablished, and that is the Speed Force.
Right.
Mark Waid is inventing the Speed Force
Right
in Terminal
now,
Velocity.
right here.
Right now. They're establishing what the Speed Force is and how it is this other plane of existence that if you run at a certain velocity, a terminal velocity, if you will, you will be called to it by the Speed Force, and you will be compelled to go there. And there's this inkling you have in your head as a speedster.
Isn't it everywhere?
Well, it's like another plane of existence. So technically, I guess it is everywhere, but in order to get from here to there, you have to go somewhere.
Okay.
So you're going to the Speed Force. But the Speed Force wants you to come to it, and if you give yourself over to the Speed Force, seemingly, you'll never come back.
Oh, okay.
And Wally turning into energy is essentially him basically almost transferring into the Speed Force.
I see.
Because you need to become like energy in order to do it. And that when Wally ran fast enough to go through time and stuff in 0 Hour, that was also him tapping into the Speed Force, whether he knew it or not.
He didn't know
And
it,
of course,
that's what
through the
was
Speed Force, you can go through time and stuff.
Sure.
So
without the cosmic treadmill.
That's right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Impulse is impulsive in their battle, and Wally finds he has to run faster in order to undo Impulse's mistakes, which causes him to start to turn into energy, and then he has to slow down, and inevitably.
Does he try talking to Impulse at all?
Yes, but every time he does, Impulse is like, "Shut up, old man! I got this," or like, "You don't know anything, haha," or he's creating a cyclone, which makes them unable to hear each other. But inevitably, Wally catches up with himself, calms down enough so that he doesn't become energy, and that's when Impulse is like, "Whoa, I'm sorry, man," and Wally just lays into him, gives him the business. And it's just like, if you need, I need you to be better than this, or my girlfriend's gonna die. He doesn't say that, but it's like,
I'm gonna put that on you.
but it is kind of on you.
Yeah.
If it were up to me, this would have been solved already.
Well, maybe just solve it yourself. You're already you're the Flash.
Yes.
Why can't you just?
This
It's
is your
Cobra.
book. It's just Cobra.
It's just Cobra. You should be able to beat them in a second.
Yeah,
I
I should, but I'm
understand.
babysitting.
Right, exactly.
Well, don't. Just leave him behind.
No, I can't because I know that Impulse is there when Linda dies by laser.
Well, maybe if
Wait,
he.
Impulse is there?
Yeah, he doesn't cause it, but he's
But
he's
he
involved.
was involved in some. Yeah, so maybe just leave him out of all your adventures, and then that won't happen.
Yeah, except what if that's the thing that causes Impulse to ingratiate himself into the adventure?
Maybe just a...
Yeah, we'll send him back to the future. In pieces. So,
All right. It's just really feels, Wally, like you're actually causing the thing
And
that you're trying to
that's
prevent. That seems like the kind of book we're in right now.
yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's why Cobra's the villain, so you can forget about it.
Yeah.
You're there's a whole sequence where Cobra is talking to, other underlings. They teleport back the team that was defeated by the Flashes, and he's like, "You fools! And you were field leader, what are you gonna say for yourself?" He's like, "Please don't kill me!"
I might.
So he does.
What's your preference? Being crushed to death or being bit by a snake?
Me personally, probably the snake.
The snake?
I don't want to be overwhelmed by a person. and have the life crushed out of me.
Oh, yeah, no, that's pretty horrible.
We had a friend who went to basic and then came back, and he like learned how to knock people out, and he was like, "Who wants to do it?" And a couple of my friends just lined up to do it.
Just by touching them.
Well, you know, by
tapping. No, by blocking off your arteries.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Chokehold, essentially.
Yeah, one of our friends was like, "Yeah, I'll try that." Boom, like a sack of potatoes.
Yeesh.
And he's like, "You next," and I'm like, "No."
I don't think so.
He didn't. He wasn't out, by the way. Like he was like, he went wham, and then he was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he recovered.
He immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that was a bad idea. I should have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot math.
Wally is done yelling at Impulse when he goes back to his place, and Max Mercury is waiting for him. And of course, Max Mercury, to illustrate his resolve and his composure, he has a snail crawling on his hand. But he's a speedster. What an oxymoron. So
Isn't this crazy?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
The fastest thing and the slowest thing.
Oh,
together.
I didn't do this to like prove that I can be patient. I ran with his fucking the snail in my hand to show the snail what speed is like.
Yeah, I was just giving the snail a thrill.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do. They're ants. They're ants and snails, and you have to.
What? No, he's not a monster.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, Wally's like, "Well, that was pointless and weird and stupid, my experience with Impulse." And Max is like, "Let me guess, you screwed it up again." And he's like, "Thank you."
Man, very insightful. I appreciate it.
So, Max is asking him to explain, Max is like, "What's going on, man? What's going on with you?" So while he's explaining to Max, like he's just unburdening himself, he's like kind of just ranting, and he's like, I gotta make sure that I protect Linda from her death, because if I don't, she'll die. And, I can't even tell her the truth, you know what I mean? And meanwhile, Linda's in the other room next door.
Oh, I thought Max was just gonna be like, "Go to her."
Yeah. No, he's more like, Linda's right here. And Linda's like, "Nice." And he's like, "Oh, Linda, let me explain." And she goes like, "You had multiple opportunities to explain to me what's going on, and now I'm going to leave." And he's like, "Well, are we broken up?" And she's like, "No, but I'm mad at you.
Right.
So, live with it for a little while." And he's like, "Thank you, Max." And Max like, "Yo, I didn't make you say any of the things you said. Like, you could have explained yourself in any other context, but you chose to do it in a kind of like macho, belittling kind of way that also made Linda look like you don't respect her. That's on you, dude." Yep. Which is like the whole book. The whole book is, that's on you, dude. Stop projecting your shit. Which is also, so behind the scenes, Wally's a dick. And Mark Waid doesn't want to write about a douchebag. And so he's like, "How do I do that? Because I'm also not a hack. Like, I'm not just going to do a story," because he's like, so many writers would have just written the character the way they wanted to with no explanation or development. But I need to do stories that like cause growth.
Or it would have been growth like at the slightest of things.
Yes, like, I saw a portrait and I changed. No, instead he's like,
well, he has to have actual flaws.
Yes. And we gotta like showcase those flaws and have Wally identify them and then learn and grow from them. Yeah. And so that's this. Like, Wally may be better at being the Flash than he was when he started, but he has a problem opening up and showing respect to, Linda.
Yeah. Okay. And the Impulse.
Yes, exactly.
You gotta learn a lesson there too.
So that experience of Linda walking out on him and Max Mercury basically being like, "I told you so," causes Wally to go like, "Okay,
I'm just gonna run into the Speed Force
and leave. This is stupid." But that is kind of like, that's always on the table. Like, for Wally, like, that is always on the table. Like, I could just leave it all.
Right. I could just fulfill my apparent destiny of
just leaving,
becoming energy or whatever.
Yeah, like the Speed Force would love for me to go.
Right.
So he's like, "All right, I think I have a plan. I'm gonna need everybody." And so they call everybody, like all the speedsters.
Oh, okay.
And so all the speedsters like get into Impulse's way. Impulse is just running because he's sad and he's pissed off. And then he bumps into Wally and everybody: Max, Jay, Jesse, Johnny. And they're all like,
"Who's Johnny?"
The only thing I know really about him, besides the fact that he's also a speedster, is that he's married to Liberty Bell, and the two of them had Jesse Quick. And Liberty Bell ain't here because she ain't fast.
Okay.
And Jesse is.
All right.
And can fly.
So they've been doing this stuff.
And can fly.
all the different flashes through history being together at the same time for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, that's like, I associate that with Flash.
One of the first crossovers was Jay meeting Barry. Like, from two different realities.
Right. It's like a staple.
They couldn't wait to stick multiple Flashes on the same page.
Okay.
So, Wally's like, all right, I'm bad on the one-on-one, but maybe I can, like, diffuse the training among all the speedsters. Like, we'll all work together, and we'll all impart something that we learned about being fast to Impulse. And so we get a little breakdown of everybody. You're like,
is everyone's message just be like, just be fast?
Like, no,
go faster.
No, because it's like, I don't need to explain that to you. You can already do that. I need you to know that your actions have consequences, and that, like, you have to learn how to be fast and what that means and how best to exploit that ability. Also, Johnny Quick is the one who only goes fast because he figured out a mathematical formula that if you say it out loud, it makes you fast, which he taught to Jesse, and that allows Jesse to be fast.
Is it Pythagorean theorem?
It is not.
It's like, well, why would I go there and then there when I could just draw a straight line across?
Exactly, that's the fastest, or at least most direct route. But no, it's represented in a theorem that they write down, and it's the same equation every time. And it's a longer equation, but if I say this smaller part, it makes me think of the whole thing, and so I can do it.
If anyone knows that equation, they can be that fast?
Yeah. So it's like, if Batman learned the equation, he'd be Fast Man.
So shouldn't someone have... Shouldn't that have been the plot to a book? So, like, somebody learns the equation?
I'm sure that is, but it rarely becomes a problem.
I feel like Batman could have figured it out.
Yeah, but what's interesting is Wally is taught the equation, and he's like, if I say the equation, I go a little faster.
Oh,
like, it adds to my speed.
Right, I get his...
It compounds, okay.
Because we're not the same.
Right.
Yeah, because originally, all our, like, Max Mercury, well, Mark Waid invented Max Mercury for this book and for this purpose. So Max Mercury is actually the most connected to all their Flashes because he was invented by the guy who links all the Flashes. But Jesse and Johnny, their speed is because of the equation. But Jay's is not, and Barry's is not Jay's. Wally and Barry have the same speed. You know, so...
Right, because they're both struck by lightning and chemicals.
Yes. But then we get the origin of Max Mercury, and the idea is that Max Mercury was born in, like, the 1800s. A Native American heard that some American forces were going to slaughter his tribe, and so he tried to go fast to get to his tribe to warn them, and he ends up bumping into who would become Max Mercury, this white guy, and explains to Max his predicament, and essentially finds that he's going to die before he gets there, and so Max basically offers to carry the message for him, and so the Native American, before he dies, he performs a ritual on Max that causes Max to take on great speed, and then is able to go fast enough to get to the battle and disarm all of the cavalrymen from killing these Native Americans. He becomes essentially the, like, Native American folklore character. He also then rescues the soldiers, like the Americans, from the Native Americans who were like, oh, they're disarmed, great, let's kill them. Right. He's like, no.
No, not that either.
No. And so, you know.
Right.
So he
makes peace.
Yeah, and so he essentially, like, tries to be a force for good during that time, and, like, a peacekeeper. You know, I've been bestowed by this power from, you know, the whatever, and now I'm doing this. But
it doesn't work that well, man.
While he's running, he also finds that he was called by the speed, what we find out is the Speed Force.
Oh.
And so, and it's intoxicating. It calls to him, and he's like, okay, and he feels compelled to go. But he realizes, like, as he's becoming energy and going, that if he goes, he'll never come back. And so he resists, and when he becomes tangible again, he's in the future. But not like the distant future. He's like maybe 50 or 60 years in the future.
Okay.
But, like, certainly past the lifespan of what he was expecting at the time.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And what he ends up doing is that throughout history until he catches up with now.
Okay.
Which is why he's older but not ancient.
Does that mean if he runs fast to a point now, he's just going to end up in the future later?
Yeah. Which is why he doesn't.
So he's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
That's why he's slow.
Yeah, that's why he's slower than Wally.
If he goes fast, he'll skip forward.
He'll skip forward or end up in the Speed Force.
Why doesn't Wally skip forward?
Because it's slightly different, or because he's not running as fast. I don't know. It was like, remember back then, the 1800s, you don't have to go nearly as fast as Wally does normally.
Yeah, it was all relative.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, damnation, son. Why would you want to go as fast as 90?
So Max Mercury, he's not actually an old sage. He hasn't lived any longer than anybody else from his own perspective.
No, it's true. Yeah,
he was just alive a long time ago.
He's older. He's probably like 48. Which is much older than
but it's not
guys.
I was thinking when he was from the past, like, oh, he's lived through
all these
200 years of experience.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah, no.
He actually has massive gaps.
Yeah, he actually knows less than anyone.
It's a shame. He's gonna have to learn the lingo each time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's always starting out behind people.
Right.
He's had remedial education.
His clothes are always out of style.
Yeah.
Or
he should be a mess.
Possibly coming back.
Yeah. It's true. Anyway, so that's the origin of Max. And,
all right.
so
we can just get that as bonus.
Yeah, we're just like, oh, also here's this.
Right.
You're like, all right, thanks.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
and tells us a little bit about the Speed Force.
Yes, and that's how we link it.
Has
Meanwhile,
everyone called it the Speed Force yet?
Yeah, they're starting to call it the Speed Force, but they also interchangeably call it the Speed Force or the Speed Energy and stuff like that. They're not capital S, capital F, TM copyright.
Right, because nobody really knows except
nobody
Max
knows
Mercury, and it's just a feeling he had.
Yes.
But also, there's a siren call to it.
Yeah, but Max,
speedsters can hear it.
Exactly. And the equation
What about
that
Barry
Johnny...
Allen? Was Barry Allen feeling it?
Well, that's the thing. They don't speculate, oh, is Barry actually not dead and he's actually in the Speed Force? But they do say that, Barry did feel it. And Barry was close to it, and maybe that's what happened to him.
But Barry also became Bones.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, does the Speed Force turn you into bones?
Okay, so
You know how you could run a lot faster if you didn't have bones?
Yeah, or you were only bones? I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, because that is what happens. Barry becomes bones because they kill him in Crisis. Right. And then Jeff Johns is like, no, actually, he turned into bones, and that's what facilitates you becoming into the Speed Force, even though Wally doesn't become bones. But also, Joshua Williamson's like, no, you need to become bones in order to go into your Earth that the pariah sends you to. So what? Are you undoing what Jeff Johns did for Crisis?
Are you saying that was what actually happened in Crisis?
Because that doesn't jive with anything else. Whatever, shut up. So
this is my book, I don't care.
It's an homage.
Yeah, and it is, but also it literally happens. So all the speedsters are teaching Impulse how to run and jump and, be smart.
You just get it from every direction. No,
yes.
do it this way.
So
No, do it this way.
Right, yeah.
He said, do it this way.
It's like, what?
Run heel to toe.
God.
No, run on the balls of your feet.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Linda is upset, about
she's
how
still mad.
Wally, disrespected her.
Didn't tell her about how she was going to die.
Yes. And, but now she knows. And she's like, I know it has something to do with Cobra, and I know Wally's trying to take down Cobra, and I know that I have been investigating Cobra because I'm a reporter, you see. So I'm going to figure it out, and then I'm going to help Wally. I'm going to set up how I'm going to die.
I'm going to dig even deeper into this Cobra thing.
Yes, which she does, which gets her to the place where she needs to die.
Right.
So great.
I know that Cobra kills me. Maybe I should research Cobra more.
Yes.
And infiltrate them.
Yeah.
Cobra. Wally
she was already checking into the Cobra
but now
thing.
she's checking into it even more.
Yes. Now she's going further into harm's way so she can die.
Right.
Yes.
So Wally did it.
Yeah.
Wally put it.
Wally set it all up. Yeah, because it's all Wally's fault.
Every step of the way he's pushing that future into being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though Max was like, he probably should have told her.
I mean, he should have, but
but just as that's just sage sound relationship advice.
Yeah, I mean, the trick is I think what Wade is saying is, it's all inevitable. It's all a closed loop.
Right. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yes, but also if you were less of a dick, maybe you could have averted it.
Right.
But you got to show respect.
Because you did it in this way.
It's going to happen definitely.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
So they're running around and they end up seeing a blizzard forming in Central City, and so they're like, "Hey, a blizzard!"
Captain Cold.
No.
What?
And you think, man, what a great opportunity for a Captain Cold, but no, it's Chillblaine.
So they just explain it as there's always another one with the Captain Cold stuff.
Yes.
Captain Cold's become a brand.
Well, it's like there's no shortage of cold-based villains.
Apparently, anyone can just make it
or steal it. You know, you could have a few extra freesters who are only like, they worked in police impound, and they were like,
right.
Now I'm a cold-based villain.
Now I'm Captain Cold.
The requirements are literally, okay, I have a freeze gun now.
I kind of like that because that is what would happen.
Yes.
Like once you let that genie out of the bottle, it's not like only one guy is going to use that weapon.
Also, like, shouldn't you have freeze tech on every emergency vehicle?
Oh yeah.
You know, like for like severed limbs or just for cryogenics.
Yeah, if that tech existed, like the government would use it
immediately. Like, it would be. You'd say you're saving
corporations would
lives.
use it. Yeah, you'd make millions of dollars, billions.
Absolutely, but no.
Yeah, but it's too dangerous.
Yes,
it's tightly regulated. The government won't let you do that because you could use it to become a Captain Cold.
Because you could be Chillblaine.
Yeah, or Chillblaine.
So Chillblaine, like, he accidentally ends up freezing an area where Impulse is running, and Impulse like ends up actually getting hurt. Not really hurt, but any hurt.
Right.
And does he feel pain for the first time? And he's like, oh my god!
He hasn't quit, but he's like, son of a bitch!
Oh, I thought he would learn empathy.
No.
It's like, ow!
I'm gonna rip your limb from limb!
I'm gonna pull all your goddamn hairs off your body in an instant!
Oh my god! That's gotta be one of the most horrific things a Flash could do. Instant waxing.
Yeah.
The guy throws ice daggers at him.
Yeah.
He vibrates around them.
Yes.
And then he's like, hey!
You could have killed me!
I could have died from that. And they're like, no, we would have stopped them.
Yeah, and he's like, what? How do you know that?
How did you know that I was going to succeed at vibrating around them?
Because we're really good at what we do. You know, we needed to believe. No, they don't even say that. They go basically like, no, we are so fast that if we would have perceived you not being able to...
As soon as the dagger started to like pierce your
we would have moved them.
We would have grabbed it.
Yes. And he's like, I don't buy that.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe
What they might as well have said was like, because you're in a Flash book.
Right.
This isn't Green Lantern. No one's going to push your girlfriend into a fridge.
We don't do that shit.
We don't do...
The worst we'll do is turn you into bones someday.
And even then...
you come back.
You'll come back.
You might come back. We're kind of setting up that you will.
Some 40-year-old will miss you and then bring you back. And it'll be at the expense of one of these guys.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. There's a reformed villain named Pied Piper who's also in the story, and he does nothing of consequence, but he's there, so that's all you need to know.
So there's Pied
and they
Piper.
keep calling him Pied Piper despite the fact that he's dressed like a guy. Like he's wearing overalls. And I'm like, yeah, you can drop the Pied Piper.
Yeah, I'm not good at making costumes, but I wanted a name.
Right, but like you have a real name. You don't need to be called...
No, I need like a super villain.
Well, no, I don't think he wants to be called that. They keep calling him that.
Oh,
like,
well,
they
maybe
won't
the
let
press
him forget.
dumped him that.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's your name now.
That's your name now. You're Pied Piper. He's like, I don't even have a pipe. Which he does, though. But anyway. So...
That's it.
After that whole display, this is all part of Wally's plan, you know.
Uh-huh. The Chillblaine was part of his plan?
Yeah. Well,
he knew that was going to happen?
No, it just, that was a happy...
He's like, there's always a villain.
No, he doesn't like go, yay, I counted on a villain to help
like
teach
a lesson
Impulse empathy. But
it is really useful that happened, right?
Yes, it does help to inform who Impulse is as a person.
Yeah, but also to like teach Impulse something that he needs him to know.
Absolutely.
What was he going to do if he hadn't learned that lesson from a supervillain?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we would have found...
Well, I would have explained it to him. It just would have taken.
That's why I won't leave Cobra alone, because they're the safest villain we could teach a lesson with.
Right.
But
you know, like the safety scissors of
supervillainy. So Wally detects an energy beam being cast by Cobra, and so he runs back to the city. And as he's running there, he sees that like the city has been encased in a dome, like an energy dome, and he's like, "Shit, this was part of my vision."
Oh.
Like
it's happening.
The dome is happening. The laser's gonna happen. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna die, and so will Linda. Damn it! And so he starts losing it. And as he's losing it, he's like running or going fast or just vibrating fast because he's starting to become energy. And he's just screaming and freaking out. And so eventually, Jay and Max calm him down enough to not turn into energy. And Wally's like, okay, I've got my senses back. I'm good. Here's the deal.
Maybe one of you can go in the dome and save my girlfriend.
Well, no, I'm going in the dome. Like,
I'm never not going to go in the dome.
I can't stop the future from happening. I'm going to turn into energy and go away. Like, I'm going to the Speed Force, I'm gonna die. Not that I plan on doing it,
Right.
but I know it's inevitable.
You can't
I
change
can't
the
live
future.
like this. Where I'm like, oh, no. I'm not gonna edge myself into the Speed Force and not finish.
Oh my God.
So Wally is like, we need a successor. I need a successor. Everyone on the family thought it was Impulse.
But he sucks.
But it's not working out. It's taking too long.
So it's Jesse. You're Flash now. And everyone's like, what? And I have Wizard magazines from this era when they were like reviewing it week to week. And Wizard was like, what the fuck? Like, Wizard was like, so I guess Jesse's Flash now, and I guess Wally's gonna die because, you know...
Because that's what he said at the end of that issue.
That's what he said was gonna happen in that issue, and I have no object permanence, and I don't know this industry like the back of my hand.
Right.
And I don't know it's all a fake out, but whatever. So Jesse Quick is going to become the Flash. And so they're like, all right, change your costume. You gotta be Flash now.
You gotta have a Flash costume.
You and me are gonna go in the dome, and we're gonna stop Cobra. We're gonna save Linda, and I'm gonna die.
And then you'll be Flash.
And then you'll be Flash.
And you're
after
gonna
I'm
watch
gone.
me die.
Yes.
You're gonna come with me.
Since technically I'll be left behind with nothing but bones and
Right.
my costume,
You can put
you
on
just put on my costume.
Well, you don't have to. We have another costume right now, so you're gonna put it on, but you're gonna wear a cool jacket because it's 1995. And so
Yeah, it's like Superboy.
yeah, so Jesse is the Flash now. Boom.
For like an issue. Cool. Good for her.
Yeah.
For like a page.
What? No, this is a permanent, long-lasting phase in this
She's
life.
so excited. She's so excited.
I guess because she's Jesse.
Yeah.
So she's running. She's like, I'm Flash now. And meanwhile, you know, like Max Mercurier's like, he's like freaking Merlin in Excalibur. What's this? I didn't see this. Jesse becoming Flash? I thought it was supposed to be Impulse. And meanwhile, what does Impulse have to
would
say
you
about
know?
that? Impulse suck. Impulse is like, you suck.
That's bullcrap.
I was supposed to be Flash.
Hasn't Jessie been doing this longer than you? Doesn't she
Theoretically.
more deserve to be Flash than you anyway? What, 'cause
Literally
she's a
everyone
girl?
here should be.
I don't understand.
Yeah, well, it's just like because it comes out of left field. Like, Wally doesn't even know Jesse. Like, what are we doing? You just picked her arbitrarily?
Yeah.
Why? Because it'd be cool to have a female Flash? It's like, yes.
Yes.
All those things.
That-
and
I bet
more.
we do. Also, Impulse sucks.
Yeah, or at the very least, he's a dick. So,
I like
you know.
the highly detailed train.
I know, right? We need to know what train this is.
It's like really specific.
It is a very good train.
Yeah.
Thank you, Salvador LaRocca, for
Looks
providing us with
perfect.
a real-looking train. It's an Amtrak train. I know that anywhere.
When Salvador LaRocca was on the book, the trains get
Look
drawn
real.
on time.
Yeah. Like, well, you know why I know what this train looks like exactly? Because it's from 1995, and so are all of the Amtrak trains.
Yep. They still look like that.
They all look like that because they're all from there. Like, they're still trying to figure out like what Cobra's agenda is.
Right. Why'd they put this dome over the city?
Right? What's up with the dome? What's up with their energy tapping? Why are they like in cells all over the country? Like, what's their deal here? You know?
Just run really fast all over the whole city until you find where they are, and then punch them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why there's such a problem.
Mostly because like nobody
'cause they
knows
keep
what they're
getting
doing, like,
distracted, yeah.
and because like the only one who normally a Flash stops Cobra, and they do it quickly and quietly. But this Flash is really distracted, so
Yeah.
he has it, and as a result, Cobra is a problem. Like it turns out, Cobra is a real
If
problem.
not for Flash,
if not
Cobra
for Flash.
would become like a very impressive villain.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. When there's one Flash, it's fine. When
there's-
there's like 7 of them,
Yeah. Then they all get tripped up.
Right.
Which
well,
is
they
why
start
it's a problem.
Talking about like what it means to be a Flash and like
Or trying to train who's
each
gonna be the
other.
next Flash. Yeah.
And you need all 7 of them to train someone for some reason.
Yep.
Just like, could maybe one of you like fight crime for like a
Right.
minute?
Like what you need is delegation.
Right.
Also-
You need a manager.
it took 5 of you to take down one Captain Cold imitator.
That's true. And one of you almost died, regardless of what you might say. So anyway, Linda is working with Pied Piper because Pied Piper's facilitating Linda's ability to like infiltrate and help stop Cobra. Wally knows this, so he's like trying to trip up Pied Piper's ability to help make things Linda needs, but it doesn't help and it only sets them further on the path. Wally and Linda have a quiet heart-to-heart where he's basically like, I think I'm gonna die, I think you're gonna die, I'm gonna save you, I'm gonna do everything I can, but like, I'm going to save you, but I don't know if I can save myself. And so he gives her his ring. He puts the Flash ring on her finger. Oh.
What?
Like an engagement ring. You know, he's...
Right, but doesn't your costume come out of that or something?
Yeah, but I got it on.
Oh.
And I'm gonna die in
I don't
it,
need it.
so I don't need
Yeah,
it.
I'm not gonna need to take it off again.
Yeah, so he gives it to her. and
also
she-
don't press that button on the side. I don't want to be naked suddenly.
Well, no, it doesn't call the costume. It just comes out of it.
Yeah, but how does it get back?
How does it get back
He
in?
puts it back in. He goes. He very quickly stuffs it into the ring.
It's like,
He goes like into it. Yeah.
yeah, but he's Flash, so it happens immediately.
Yes.
It takes him like 5 hours.
It takes a long time. It's really
That
hard
is
to
not
do.
what I thought. I thought it just you called the ring out of it,
And then you press the button and it just sucks it back in.
It goes back in.
Yeah, it's got a very powerful vacuum.
No, he like folds it up, and then
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah, it's actually a really sweet scene. You know, where she's just like tearfully saying, like, "Don't go, don't do this." And so Jesse and Impulse team up to go see if they can like stop the energy generation for the field. So they go to like a power plant that's being taken over by Cobra.
Is it like a physical field? Like, can they not get in?
Yeah, it's like a physical field.
Okay.
It's a physical energy field, so it's like bullshit, but you know, still.
Actually, that works better because if it was an energy field,
Yeah.
maybe that means the Flash can't phase through it.
Yes, and that's true. So so you can't have like all 5 Flashes just run in and solve the problem. Jesse and Impulse are kind of like winging it. Like they don't really know what they're doing, and they kind of like negotiate how they're going to do it. And Impulse calls the shots and blows up the facility, saving the day, or delaying the inevitable. And meanwhile, Linda and Iris and Pied Piper get into like a news van, which they aren't technically supposed to check out, but they do, and so they leave and they go to like the city to go
they're
deal with
breaking
Cobra.
all the rules.
Oh yeah,
Because they got to have a little Lois Lane style adventure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we can't.
Lois Lane and Jimmy.
These characters have agency.
Right.
Some people are here only to read the adventures of Linda Park.
Right.
So
Well, I'm sorry for that.
yeah,
Yeah, because she's barely in this book.
yeah. So
Windmills.
oh yeah, they find
Why are there windmills?
Oh, because they find they find a cornfield, but then they like pop open the corn. It's hollow. It's all like smoke and mirrors to hide
What?
a windmill plant that is also generating energy.
It would be easier to grow corn.
I know.
Than to make an
Than to
entire
make
field
plastic
of fake
corn? I guess because it's evil, it's like, well, we made all this corn. We made all this. You can't recycle this corn.
Right, you can't use it. It's useless.
Yeah, but I'm like
The kernels are plastic. It's just gonna get choked up by some sea turtle.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, oh,
It's very evil.
you want to use wind power to facilitate your ends? Well, how about we make wind and blow down your things and ha ha ha.
Oh, it's these windmills that work in reverse?
Yeah.
Like
They just
so
knock-
these windmills do work that way.
They just knock them down. Okay.
Oh no, the Flashes create wind to knock out the windmills. It's not that the windmills are some sort of evil scheme to make wind and
I
cause.
thought that's what they were.
No, they're using the windmills to generate power for their evil schemes, so the Flashes knock them over. But yeah, no. So
I misunderstood.
and meanwhile, like Cobra, like every time that they are like stymied by a Flash, they're like, shit, our current plan isn't gonna work. Maybe we should enact our like plan from 6 months from now, which is a bigger plan that we're less prepared for. And they like have an argument about whether that is like a responsible decision or not. Because we're like, but we needed resources that we needed from these plans to facilitate the big plan.
Right, it goes in sequence.
You can't like just say like move to plan F. Like, but we need A through E in order to facilitate
But
F.
they existed for a reason, though.
Those are not alternate plans. Those are all connected, and so they're doing it, which may explain why Cobra loses, but whatever. So they have these conversations, and they're worth reading because it's like because you can't just read every other page of Wally going like, "Shut up, Impulse." Oh, so Wally essentially like runs faster than he's ever run before because that's every effing story in the Flash.
Right, but
and potentially turning into more energy.
So now he's flirting with turning into the Speed Force.
That's right.
Why does he need to run so fast?
Because he has to get it through the
barrier.
barrier.
Oh.
So he does, and Jesse does, and so they do, and no other Flashes can get through.
Oh well, she's
thus proving that she is a Flash.
Yeah, she should be the Flash.
But the idea was that okay. So the reason why Wally picked Jesse in the first place is because he's like, I don't really believe in you. Like, I don't think you should be a worthy successor to the Flash mantle. It's
Jesse,
that
I need you to know something. I never believed that you would be Flash.
No, she comes to that conclusion and explains it to him, and he doesn't correct her.
He's like, pretty much.
Yeah, because she's like, no, your vision was you in the bubble with Impulse, so you changed history by making it me instead. And the only way we were basically. Okay, so no, it wasn't.
Which,
but
fair.
No, but it wasn't that. It wasn't I'm going to replace Impulse with Jesse, and maybe she'll be a better Flash than Jesse. I picked Jesse because I knew it would upset Impulse and maybe would motivate him to be better. So when Impulse and I are in the barrier, he will be a better Flash. And she's like, so you used me! You used me, Wally! And he's like, yes, because like now, because now Impulse isn't in the barrier, but Jesse is, and he's like, oh shit, you're not supposed to be here. That your being Flash is supposed to it was supposed to neg Impulse into being better and being here.
Yeah, but now she's in the barrier, so it is different, which is what you wanted.
But when I ran fast enough to go through the barrier, I saw the future again, and Linda still dies. So now I've got a lesser Flash with me, and Linda's still gonna die. Crap. And she's like, wow, you really suck. Like
you're a bad person.
You're not just a bad Flash, but you're like mean. But like, no, it's not that.
No. It's just, I mean, it would be really motivating for Impulse for you specifically to be picked.
Right? Yes, because
you're
like,
so bad.
No, it's because you're a woman. You see? Because,
no, wait.
Like all Flashes, we're all misogynists.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm not explaining this very well.
No, you're not. So she's like, well, you're stuck with me.
Well,
hopefully
now I'm here.
I'm good enough. Let's try it.
Even though I'm so not.
Yeah, even though I'm not supposed to be the Flash.
Right.
And I'm wearing this costume, I might as well be wearing a clown outfit.
What are you saying?
I'm basically wearing Flash face.
Yeah. Cobra has like eyes everywhere. They also have like cameras everywhere. They can like they were like spying on Wally yelling at Impulse earlier in the book, and they're like, "Oh, look at that! Ha ha ha!" And I'm like, "How
They're
often?"
just chuckling to themselves.
Yeah, I'm like, "How often are you using this technology?" Like, you're just like, "Oh, Linda's getting undressed again." Uh-oh, looks like Jesse's got to put on that Flash costume. Hopefully, she doesn't do it very fast. Like, what are you doing, Cobra?
What is the plan?
But anyway, so they're using the technology. They find out that Linda's in the van, and they're like, "Oh no, Linda! We're gonna kill her too! That bitch!"
She's trying to uncover our secret plan.
They're like, you have a dome over the city.
Yeah, but she's gonna publish a scathing article about us.
No, she's a news reporter. She's going to report it.
I'm sorry, she's going to
Lois Lane will write
scathing
one.
expose. Whatever.
Yeah, they're completely different characters.
That's right, Tom. I'm in downtown, whatever city this is.
So they teleport a Cobra agent to go kill Linda, which they don't, and then Linda just like drives the van and then hits the brakes, and he just flies through the windshield.
Nice. That move always works.
It always works. It's always satisfying to see.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're gonna fire the laser at Linda, and it's gonna happen. And Wally's like, "Okay, time for me to run." So he runs, and as he's running, he realizes, based on like the laser's path and trajectory, that it was never aimed for Linda. The laser was aimed at Wally, and Wally makes Linda get hit by the laser because he's always overthinking it and thinking for Linda. Like, Linda should have agency. Let Linda fight Cobra, you fools. It's only because Wally underestimates Linda does Linda get lasered in the first place. So as Wally's realizing it, he's running, and then he like has to outrun the laser, so he's running around, but the laser's firing, and so he's like, I only have a chance to save Linda one time, and he's like running, and as he's running and realizes his mistake, Jesse jumps and stops Wally from running anywhere near Linda so that Linda doesn't get hit by the laser, but instead almost severs Jesse's leg.
Oh.
And they don't show it, but like it's hanging on by a thread. Like, she'll never run again. So not only were you never supposed to be Flash, you'll never be Flash.
You never can be Flash. Damn.
Yep.
That sucks.
And so
is that still?
No. They fixed that in this book.
Oh, okay.
No, it's too mean.
Right.
It's too dark for a Flash book.
Right, but she sacrificed herself, which is very noble.
Very Flash-like. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's actually the thing that all Flashes are known for.
Right.
Sacrificing themselves.
She really deserves to be Flash after this.
Yeah, it's actually kind of annoying that she's never been Flash after this. Except
She was Flash, though. She was Flash for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, she's Flash on the cover of one issue of Flash,
Right.
where she's also wearing a dated 90s jacket, and she looks unsure of herself.
Yep.
Yay!
And she literally saves the day.
Yep.
She saves Linda and Flash.
Yep. And gets her leg cut off.
And gets her leg cut off for the trouble, and she never gets to be Flash.
That's right. She never wears this costume ever again, which is really a shame. It's a fun costume. I don't know if it's like really that new. It's just like, it's just her face mask goggle combo in a Flash costume.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, when you really innovate, you get like Frank Miller's weird cut-off black suit that Barry wears, where he's got those big chunky sneakers, and you're like, that sucks.
No, do that.
Anyway, so then Impulse ends up joining the fray and helping. He runs fast enough to get in there. And Impulse jumps in. He tries to save the day. He helps Wally. He helps stop the laser. And Wally's like, I'm sorry I was a dick. Like, you are worthy of the mantle of the Flash, but like, you know, you're doing great.
But you'll never get it.
But you'll never get it because I'm never going to stop. Yeah, he's like, come on, man, we got to stop the rest of it. Whatever the hell Cobra was up to. Now that Linda's safe, and I'm not going to become energy or whatever, we got to stop Cobra from whatever evil scheme they were actually working on this book that would have taken up most of the story.
Right.
And then one of the evil Cobra agents is like, that woman ruined everything, and then fires the laser and ends up shooting at Linda anyway.
Oh my God.
And Wally's like, no! And he runs so fast that he ends up going into the Speed Force and disappearing and seemingly dying. And as he's turning into the Speed Force, as he's like, no, I'm turning into the Speed Force, he then says the equation to buy himself a few extra seconds. And so he does that, and he says to Linda, I'm sorry, I love you, goodbye. And then sends himself into the Speed Force.
Wow.
So Linda gets to watch him die.
And this time she's like,
He died.
yeah, I watched it happen.
I saw it happen.
Don't tell me
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And there he goes, and you're like, that's kind of amazing.
Wow.
And
Linda's just like,
Linda's just beside herself.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, Impulse is like, okay, like now it's time for me to flash up.
And the Pied Piper's there being like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. Because I guess I'm a supporting cast member of the Flash book, so I guess you can use me. So, you know, Impulse runs around, he beats the shit out of some people, but
I don't understand, how can he be Flash without a mentor?
well, he's not. He beats the shit out of some Cobra agents, but then they shoot him with a big gun, and he gets immolated, and so he's out of commission.
they shoot him with a big gun? How? He's running so fast, how would they even perceive him?
He's
like,
beating up a couple of guys, and the other one is like, ho ho, and just blasts him.
so
They shot him in the back.
Yeah, like cowards.
He takes
or snakes.
too much time punching people.
Yeah, you know, he's like, this is for Wally! No! Like, Flash wanted me to be Flash, and I will, by God! And then he's like, I'm on fire, no!
So instead of doing the thing that every Flash should do, which is just never stop running, he stops to punch people.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So Cobra's plan is they have like energy they're going to fire into the ground on fault lines and cause an earthquake that'll destroy everything.
Oh my God. No, that's so stupid. Okay.
So they do, you know, so like, oh no, earthquakes everywhere.
So they destroy the Earth.
Well, they're starting to, you know, it's
I
like,
see.
oh no.
And after they do this, then they will rise over the ashes somehow.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because you know, snakes love vibrations in the ground.
I was literally
it's gonna draw all the snakes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then they'll all
Yeah.
eat the humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Once the cities are in ruin, snakes will naturally inherit the Earth.
Of
We all
course.
know.
As is the natural
That
order
would
of
happen.
things. It goes
Yeah.
humans, snakes,
Right.
apes. So, anyway, Cobra, like the leader of Cobra,
Yeah.
he's like, ho ho! Like he like picks a big chunk of rock to like stand like Washington crossing Delaware.
I just realized he named the team after
himself. I
Yes.
know, what a dick.
Well, like, I'm Cobra, but they're also Cobra.
They're all Cobra.
Yeah, you're all Cobra, but
We're all
I'm
Cobra.
Like, why do you call
I'm
yourself
like- I'm
King
like
Cobra?
Negan.
But there already is a King Cobra, and he's completely non-affiliated.
That's a different thing.
Hi, I'm Dennis, and this is my evil fighting force, Dennis.
what
They're
is-
all Dennis.
What does
Yeah.
Dennis stand for?
What? Nothing.
It's my name.
Wasn't that a little confusing?
It won't
No.
be. Trust me. It's all about context.
Well, here's the thing. When someone says, go Dennis, I get motivated, they get motivated.
Yeah,
it's
everyone
great.
gets motivated.
Right.
So anyway, Cobra sees that like Linda and company are, you know, on a convenient rock that's also been like unearthed, and there's fire and shit shooting out of the ground. And he's like, good. Linda Park, who used a van to try to defeat me, is over there. Minions, murder her. And she's like, you want me? Then come and get me, you son of a bitch. And then they fire her. She's like, ah!
No, not really.
My member's like, don't do that, Linda. Don't throw your wife
Don't
away so
antagonize
needlessly."
them.
Yeah. And Linda has to be a badass, so she's like, you know, they all regroup.
Linda, go on air and say you were sorry.
Grovel before them.
Yeah.
You can't print a detraction, but like,
Yeah, right?
Whatever the news equivalent is.
Yeah, I for one welcome our new snake overlords.
Hiss.
It's what Barry would have wanted. Wally would have wanted.
Yeah. So Linda, but like, they regroup and Linda's like watching, looting taking place.
Oh, looting's happening.
And she's like,
Well, the city's like destroyed. So the earthquake happened. The city's in ruins.
An earthquake happened in the city, in the area, in a
or
localized
a small
area.
part of the city.
Yeah. Cobra has been amassing power across the country. They've been downloading that power.
What?
And
like electricity?
Yeah. And
into a
storing
battery
it
bank. Okay.
into a battery bank. Keystone City afforded the perfect nexus of natural energies: hydroelectric, wind, solar, and now, as the fault lines begin beneath us shift, geothermic. My agents are ready, their weapons primed. With a twist of the dial, the shockwaves increase and energy erupts. Directed and channeled by the containment field that surrounds the city, it surges skyward and into a waiting satellite, which in turn will relay limitless power to soldiers across the country. So essentially, Cobra has been farming energy because Keystone City happens to be a energy nexus of America that generates so much energy that Cobra can funnel it, store it in a satellite above the Earth, and then fire it to awaiting Cobra agents who can use it to facilitate their evil schemes.
So all the renewable energy that they were using was the thing that enabled the bad guys to succeed.
How ironic. What?
Don't you see Coast City?
No.
If only you had
Our Central City.
Keystone.
Keystone. If only you just used regular coal, dirty coal power
But
plants.
like, there's no way that Mark Wade believes that.
No. He just thought it was an interesting idea.
I guess.
Geothermal. You can't just... What?
You can't just
geothermal energy.
shoot
You need to build a geothermal energy plant.
They had one. Oh no, yeah. Well, they were making a earthquake, and that was generating.
And that's releasing energy of the earth. But in a real geothermal power plant that produces energy from the earth.
It would have made more sense.
You need turbines and stuff.
No, they should have had a magic user who absorbs the energy into an energy ball.
Right.
Or it goes into a crystal or something.
A crystal.
Something. Yeah. Anything.
Mark Wade's like, whoa, I'm not a hack. Anyway, so we check in with Gotham, and Batman and Robin are fighting Cobra agents. And
one of the cells.
What the fuck are all these Cobra agents doing in here? And they're like, oh my god, they're everywhere, and they're powered up.
Sleeper agent. They're powered up. They have power. It's like someone beamed power to them. What kind of power?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It's like the entire Earth became a giant Tesla field.
Yeah.
But only the Cobra agents can tap into it.
Yes.
Yeah, but what does it do for them?
It powers their epic weapons that they have on their backs.
But all kinds of people have guns and stuff already.
Yeah, they fight Superman. And I'm like, Superman fights a Cobra level threat every morning before his cornflakes. You essentially just made Cobra as powerful as Intergang. Congratulations.
Oh, wow, really?
Why doesn't Superman just go across the country and stop every single Cobra sect, on his way to Keystone?
Right.
Literally every Flash could also do that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, what are all the Flashes who didn't make it through the dome?
Because the road's unstable and I can't run across it even though I can run across water. So...
Okay.
We got a bunch of cameos, they're fighting Steel, and they fight Hawkman, and they fight Superman. He's in there too. And of course, the Flash have their hands full because, the earthquakes, you see.
Right.
They're causing earthquakes on hospitals and stuff. So Flash have to evacuate hospitals and whatnot.
All right, that's fair
and
enough.
Jesse can fly, so she's like, I'll fly. I won't be fast, but at least I can fly.
She can fly?
Yeah. That's another thing she could do. But
wait, is her leg reattached?
Nope, she's just flying.
They just tied a thing around it.
They wrapped it. They wrapped it.
It should be dangling down.
Yeah, no, it should.
Ugh.
I know, it's horrible. Where were you when Cobra attacked? While that's happening, Linda gets a BFG. Just a big freaking gun.
Nice.
And she's like, I'm gonna kick ass and avenge Wally. Let's do this. And you're like, all right.
Okay. Doesn't all the Cobra guys have guns too, though?
Yeah, and they have super powerful guns too.
Yeah.
So the military
army
gets
guys?
involved.
What?
Oh, so like
It's just going off the friggin' rails.
Oh, I know, it's a mess because
This is insane.
Cobra's taking over the country.
Right.
You know, so all the heroes are dealing with that. Meanwhile, the military is dispatched to Keystone, and they're trying to get to the barrier. And Max Mercury is like, okay. And also, everyone in Keystone City who's trying to evacuate the city is like stuck against the barrier. You know, they're like, let us out!
Yeah.
And so Max, he like uses his speed powers to like dig into the ground and cause his own little earthquakes that disrupt the ground beneath the energy dome, which causes like a little gap so that people can like go under the dome.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought he was going to disrupt the earthquakes.
Yeah, like counterbalance it or something. No,
Exactly, like, oh, it goes up, but I push down equally.
yeah, nope,
So nobody thought to dig under the dome before that?
nope.
Anyone could. You don't need like flash powers to dig a hole.
No, but I can do it fast.
I see.
So he
Sewers
does.
go under the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just go into the sewer.
Right. Meanwhile, Max runs under the gap he made and facilitates the military to help cause the evacuation. Pied Piper and Linda are back to back with awesome guns, shooting Cobra agents.
Oh yeah, Pied Piper. I forgot about Pied Piper.
But
That's what everybody.
But Jesse and Pied Piper get hit by lasers, and
no.
Linda Park just becomes a '90s character.
This is insane.
Like she's got 2 guns now because Pied Piper's down. She's like, "No more! You hear me? Blah 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 blah." She's like, "Yeah, I'm kicking ass and taking names." And Cobra's like, "Whoa!"
What?
Like she is pissed. And also, they broke their teleporters, so they can't leave. That was another fun thing. Like Linda helped facilitate the destruction of their teleporter, and so
Okay.
Cobra's like, "Shit!
Oh no!
Like I wanted to cause an earthquake here to release the geothermal energy, but then we're gonna
bail.
like leave.
Yeah, now
But
we're
now we
stuck
can't, and we're
here.
stuck in this dome." So like Linda's like, "Hey, Cobra, I'm coming for you," and he's like, "Oh no!" So he tries to run away, and so then it's like Linda versus Cobra.
This is wackadoodle.
And
This
so,
is friggin'
wait,
nuts.
but how about if
Has she
Linda
ever?
been this badass before? I mean,
Right.
like, I buy it. Plus, she's
Alright.
been pushed to the brink.
Right.
She watched
She's
her
just been
man
pushed
die.
so hard.
Yeah. So then
Okay.
Cobra grabs a crowbar and then tries to attack her with it.
Oh, no.
And Joker's like, "Not on my watch," and grabs it from her.
But it wasn't a crowbar, it was a snake. That just got frozen in that
But-
position.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually explosions.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. No.
It was actually a bomb that
It was actually a bomb. She picks up to fight him and he just grabs her wrist and takes it away from her.
Oh.
And he's like, "Now I'm gonna beat you to death with a crowbar." And I hope Joker doesn't like sue me for copyright infringement. But meanwhile, while he's like about to kill Linda, lightning strikes, and lightning hits Jay, who's been hurt, her Flash Ring, Jesse, Impulse, and Cobra, and then Wally West emerges from the Speed Force. And of course, we have this big moment. Wally is surging with energy, like he's just this big blinding light.
He's like golden.
And Cobra's just like, "No, this can't be!" And he like tries to fire him. He's like, "You're dead!" And like Wally just picks him up. And he's like, "No."
I am very much alive.
And then he throws him, like he hits him really hard and like fires Cobra like across state lines, which must just break every bone in his body.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead.
So he kills Cobra.
I mean, he has it coming.
He does. And then Linda
How
is
many
like,
millions
"Wally!"
of people have died?
Exactly.
Wally. Yes, that was my name.
Yes, Wally West. I'm Wally East. And then Wally runs away, and he
I'm sorry, he runs away? Does he say yes?
no, he
No?
just
Well, he's too consumed.
he's too consumed with the energy of the
Right.
Speed Force.
Yeah.
So he runs away. He runs over to Jesse.
I don't need you anymore. The Speed Force is like one giant orgasm all the time.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm coming all the time. I'm coming in Keystone City. I'm coming in Coast City. I'm coming in Gotham. Everywhere I'm running, I'm coming.
I'm coming in the coffee shop. I'm coming on the street.
Wally is coming.
He leaves his girlfriend immediately and runs right to Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he does owe her an apology, and so he like heals her leg with his Speed Force powers.
What?
Meanwhile,
Did they keep that?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
A Cobra starts falling on the other end of the dome or whatever.
Oh yeah, he hasn't
And,
he hasn't landed yet.
Max catches him.
Ah. Was that part of the plan?
Sure. I think Max saw the opportunity to be a hero and took it.
Right. Okay. Oh no.
Oh, good.
It only
My
happens here.
favorite.
I know. I love when the book does this.
So
Stupid and useless. You didn't need to do this.
there's a number of other ways you could have done this.
Yep. Oh, so Wally destroys the energy machine that's making the earthquakes in the first place, while all the Flashes just gawk and watch.
Yes, he does that.
And so it explodes, and Linda thinks Wally died again. And everyone is basically like, wow, like Wally emerged from the Speed Force one last time to correct his mistakes and save the day.
And die.
And then die.
And die like he's supposed to.
So the energy machine that also caused the earthquakes and was sending energy to the satellite blows up. So obviously all the other Cobra commanders,
They just fall over.
you know, they battle droid it up.
Yeah.
So it's like, and by the way, like, so, you know, we refer to the battle droiding like that's where the cliche began, but like, no one questioned it when it happened in The Phantom Menace because it had already been a cliche.
Oh, yeah.
Like we all expected when we saw how many battle droids were like,
you knew how they were.
So they're gonna blow up the ship and all of them are gonna turn off.
They're going to such great lengths to show you how impossible it would be to defeat them one by one.
Yes.
They're gonna be defeated by killing the brain.
Right, which of course they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we see that like the heroes gain the upper hand and like they, you know, beat
Right, now the weapons
now
are
that Cobra doesn't
depowered.
have all their power, they're easily defeated.
Yeah, Superman wasn't able to stop them until their power was just removed
Exactly.
somehow.
So Iris notices that Jesse's leg is healed, and she's like, I was like bathed in some kind of energy, and Impulse finishes her sentence because he also was bathed in some kind of energy that healed him from all that burning and stuff.
Right.
And well, as they're all like speculating about Wally's last act of heroism, Linda just runs away from them, like just melodramatically, like runs into it as the rain starts to fall, you know, because from all the lightning, because there's a storm.
Right.
And she's like, woo! And then when she opens her eyes, there's Wally, and they embrace and kiss. And she's like, I knew you'd be back. And he says, took you long enough to get over here. I've been standing over here waiting for you. What the hell?
What? Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I was blown free of the explosion and I landed over here. That's what happened.
Okay, so like you're like invincible now? Like explosions don't hurt you?
Well, you know, no, it's more like
Also
I'm an action
liar.
hero. That's
I
just
see.
how action heroes are all immune to explosions.
Right.
Like if you were able to be pushed by an explosion.
Right, we don't get caught up in it, we just get moved by it.
Yeah. That would kill you. I've learned a valuable lesson about myself and about how I treat women and about how I am as a Flash and like basically just, you know, like being in the Speed Force taught me that, like, you know, that is heaven for me, and I basically gave up paradise because I love you.
Yeah, it turns out the Speed Force has a lot of tutorials on how to be a better person.
Yeah, well, it's like
Well, I
Wally
kind of
can wield it.
started to learn it before that.
Like Wally used the energy from the Speed Force in order to heal.
It was like an AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go waiting. It's like, hey, Speed Force. It's like,
Heal
what can I help
legs.
with?
Yeah. How do I heal detached ligaments? Like
Well,
here's
you'll probably need a degree, but I guess I could get one and download it into your brain.
great. Yeah, do that.
Great, it's like the Matrix now.
He just uses the Speed Force.
I
is
see you're
magic.
trying to save the world. Would you like some help?
Yeah, thanks, Clippy. No, he just uses the Speed Force like it's magic. Like the magic just heals her.
Right. It looks
And-
like the Speed Force also shaved his stubble.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, because it was different artists between those two issues.
I mean, you're going to want a clean Flash coming back.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
his
not as
stubble did
iconic.
appear from nowhere, so it makes sense that it would
makes sense
also
that go away
disappear from nowhere.
Yeah. But the idea of like Wally learns not to be selfish and to be thoughtful, but also is like, it's not enough. Like I also needed to experience paradise, heaven, death, and the only thing that could be there for me on Earth is you. Like that love triumphs and gives
Right.
you the energy, speed, and power in order to accomplish wonders.
Right.
Yeah, you're my heaven.
You're the
Yeah.
reason I'm not in heaven right now.
Yeah, well, yes, and also they don't like. Why aren't you energy anymore? Why don't you turn into energy anymore? Why don't you get compelled to go into the Speed Force? Like all
Right.
that is because I love Linda. That's why
Oh.
No, he finally released. He edged himself the entire book, and then
I came
whoo!
It's over.
to be with you,
Right. I am gonna have to
But I also
go.
came.
Yeah.
hard and fast.
I'm gonna have to go back to the Speed Force
You know
like
that
once
lightning that hit you?
regularly
Yeah, yeah.
to avoid,
Any energy surges.
yeah.
You know that lightning that everyone got hit by?
That was
It wasn't
me.
lightning.
Yeah. So what is the lightning? So the lightning it hits Jesse and like heals her, and it hits Impulse and does something to
I
him.
think the idea is that when the lightning first appears, it's him checking in on everybody.
Oh, he's like, "You good? You good? You good? You good?" Oh, her leg's all fucked up. Let me
and
fix that.
Impulse will burn and stuff, so
Yeah.
like he then heals them as well.
Also, I
Right.
whisper some encouraging words of advice in his ear. He's no longer a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he needs to be able to do that himself.
So after this, he can go into the Speed Force whenever he wants.
No,
and
it's
heal
more
people
like
and stuff.
No.
Or he has to go Super Saiyan, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, no, he doesn't go to the Speed. It's like I don't need to go to the Speed Force anymore.
Oh. I see. But it seems like pretty powerful. It seems like pretty useful ability.
Oh yeah,
You can heal people.
I don't think he can do it every time. I
Why
think
not?
it's more like I did it that one time, and I was.
I just got to run fast
Yeah,
enough.
it's more like no. Wally would have died. Wally would have gone to the Speed Force and stayed there. And his last act might have been to heal everybody.
Right.
But because he loves Linda, he's not in the Speed Force anymore. He's just pulled from the Speed Force.
Yeah, but he could use the same
You can't-
get out of
you
Speed
can't
Force
keep
free
doing
card.
that.
Why
Like,
not? He still loves her, right?
But I think it's just like the way they
Why
explain
wouldn't it work again?
you know,
it worked once.
Right, I know, but like you can't keep doing it 'cause it's cheap.
Because when I was in the Speed Force, there was this guy, and he was like, "If you leave, you can only leave the one time. If you ever
Yeah,
come
it's
back,
like all
you
dogs go to
stuff."
heaven. You can never come back.
Guess what? I come back. All dogs go to heaven too.
We don't count that. That's not canon. That movie sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
At the heart of it, what this really is, it's a secret love story
Right.
about Wally and Linda and how like she is so essential to everything that he is and does, which is also I think why there were so many people who were really angry when they were like, oh, Wally doesn't matter, here's Barry. Oh, and we unmade Wally, and now Wally's this black kid from like whatever. Oh, no, actually he's Wally over here, and that's Wally, but he's not married to Linda, and their kids aren't real. And they're like, Linda is why Wally is a hero I like.
Right.
She's a fulcrum.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what if we introduce Linda and Wally remembers her and he creepily tries to explain to the rebooted Linda that actually they are supposed to be together and that she's the mother of his children. And it turns her off so much that she never wants to see him ever again. And it's like, what is up?
Stop talking about Linda.
Right, like,
oh,
I don't
see
understand
there, I took care of it.
what-
Now they can never be
Like,
together.
okay. So, like, I understand having favorite characters and having least favorite characters. If you're an editor or an editor-in-chief or a president or publisher at one of the big two. What I don't understand is using that power to belittle or marginalize those characters. Like, just, like, the best thing you can ever do is make money off a character you hate. Right? Like, that's the best thing you could do. Except, I guess you take it personally because you're like, no.
But I don't want to keep writing for that character. I hate them.
You don't write for them. You're in charge.
yeah, but I have to read that shit.
Right,
I have to hear about how people like it.
They're a sub-editor.
And they're not supposed to like it.
Right, like, I don't like
wrong.
them because they suck. I need other people to
Yes,
agree with me.
Other people, exactly.
And it's just like, what it is it's again massive ego. It has nothing to do with business or story or creativity. It's everything to do with like you just being completely egocentric and thinking like, I don't like Wally, I don't understand it, and I don't want him in there, and I need him to be marginalized so that other people agree with me because too many people don't.
Well, I want to make this my plaything. It's control. I want control.
I want to control the entire
make
universe.
it into my own image.
But I keep
my image of what it should be.
Yeah, I have to keep printing out these Wally West flash books because everyone keeps buying them.
Right. Well, it's like, damn it, I hate Nightwing. I know, I'll make him into a secret agent and he won't be Nightwing ever again. Fuck, stop buying it. What are you doing?
But it's Nightwing.
Well, it's like, no, it's called Grayson. And it's just like, oops, but I gave it to two really good writers and they made it into a really good book. Shit.
That's not what's supposed to happen.
But I also, like, I can't, I'm just shy of being a hack enough. Like, but I also won't give the book deliberately to a bad writer.
Right.
To sabotage it that
Right.
whole-
Well, that would be financial malpractice.
Yeah, I'd get removed by the board for that.
But you're already committing creative malpractice. I don't understand.
Yeah, but the shareholders don't care about that.
I guess that's true. So there it is. It's Flash Terminal Velocity. I love this. It's really fun. It does completely go off the rails, but like there's such little that happens throughout it where you're like, oh no, like they're yelling at each other again, or oh no, here's Max Mercury's origin for no good reason. Like because I realized I really
I never said where it came from.
Oh, and also, you know, the Speed Force, it links everybody. Like everything that everybody, like that equation, what you're doing is you're tapping into the Speed Force. Like
there's a little bit of Speed Force.
Everybody owes the Speed Force for their speed. Speed comes from the Speed Force. I don't care if you were hit by a lightning, if you say a magical math formula, or you know.
What about Superman's speed? He's super fast. Superman
is fast. He's not that fast. He's not a Flash.
I see. So
Superman
any of the
is not a
Flashes
Speed
are faster than Superman?
They should be. I mean, maybe not Jay.
Was he using the Speed Force or not?
Theoretically, he should be. Yeah.
But like really crappily, so he's.
Or he's just too old. He's not going to run faster than Wally.
He's too old.
Yeah,
He's
Speed
old.
Force is like Neverland. You get too old, you can't go back.
You can't go back. That's right.
Right.
But yeah, it's
Okay.
weird. But yeah, the Speed Force is like the reason for everything. And everybody, by the way, reading this, all the Flash fans and Speedsters were just like, "Yay!" Like, oh,
Right.
that's why. Okay,
Oh, that's cool.
Because you were already like putting them all on one page.
Right.
You're already creating a Flash family. You might as well link them.
Actually link them in some way.
In some
So
way.
it's not just like, wait, what are they? They just like each other because they're all fast?
Right, why doesn't Superman join the Flash
Right. Why
family?
isn't he one of them?
Like because none of us can shoot lasers out of our eyes.
He's too powerful.
Right?
He makes us feel bad.
He makes us look real bad. It's like, yeah.
When he's right there, it's like, why do you need any of us?
Like, oh. Boy, when Superman stands next to us, it makes having 5 Flashes all standing shoulder to shoulder feel really silly.
You know, I could replace all of you.
Well, since you all do 1/4 of my powers.
Right.
Also,
Man.
let's see you dodge this or run faster than this heat vision.
Yeah.
Moves at the speed of light. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, also, like, imagine if you were really super fast, right, which is really useful power, but also invincible. Imagine how much more useful that would be.
Right. I mean, we kind of are, because we can also become intangible and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not the same
But you
thing
have
as
to think about
resilient.
it. You have to know it's coming in order to turn it intangible.
Right.
I can be shot in the back.
Right? And like many of you are. Like one of you is.
Remember what happened to Impulse? Because I would have just been like, what?
Yeah, I would have been like, ooh.
Oh, ow. That
Hey,
tickled.
Superman, hold this rock for me. Okay.
One rock.
Oh, yeah, that's right. None of us are taken down by a single magic rock.
It's true. I guess they don't have weaknesses.
I mean,
the
except
Flash
for
have
like,
weakness?
yeah, I mean, you could hurt them if anything's
Yeah,
as
Jesse
fast
got
as-
her leg almost removed.
Yeah, like
yeah.
lasers.
Well, yeah, they don't have invulnerability.
an invincible, yeah.
But that's not a weakness. They have something that like takes away their speed.
Right. Well, eventually
That
they're going to
counters their speed.
They do invent the still force, and that can take away their speed. But,
Oh.
yeah. The problem with rubbing a lamp is that the genie comes out, but it's hard to get him back in after you've rubbed it.
Right.
Well, you gotta fold him like what, 12,000 times? Is that it?
That's how you fit the genie into the ring.
It's a lamp. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, so you got the Speed Force. You're due 2 more wishes. What else you got? Oh, I don't really need anything.
I got it.
That's not really how it works.
That's not how it works. In order for me to transfer to the next recipient of the lamp,
Yeah.
have 2 more wishes.
What other
Yeah, but if
thing
I-
do you need me to create a nothing?
If I transfer you, I mean someone could undo what I did.
Yeah, I guess
Nah, I think I'm just gonna keep it.
yeah. That's not how that works.
You're supposed to be making another.
Fine. All right. Hyper time.
I don't know, a sandwich?
Yeah. Or any kind.
A sandwich. You can wish for anything in the world, and you wish for a stupid sandwich.
I got my wish. You know,
yeah.
like after losing Wally, she doesn't believe in miracles, but when Wally returns, she believes in them with all of her heart. You know, she like learns a valuable lesson about belief and about standing by your man. I don't know. She learns a valuable lesson about belief and about like hope.
Maintaining hope.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Which is like the central theme of every Mark Waid story, I think.
Well, it's not bad.
Which, you know what? We could use it. It beats it being about how superheroes are modern gods who look down on us and deserve our accolades.
It also beats a misery fest of like, well, for every world we create, there's also worlds we have to destroy.
Oh, God.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's no dragon anvils. There's no multiversal collapses. There are no incursions. I mean, that's kind of relegated to just the multiversal threats. But like, yeah, it's also not like a Batman book where it's like I saved a kid, but the mother died.
Yeah. Or I stopped the Joker, but
He killed 1,000 people again. Like, please just kill him. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but
That's
I get it. I get why they hate you.
Yeah.
Because you won't kill the Joker.
yeah.
Because it's like so few people have access to him the way you do.
Right.
You know, like I'm sure
Just who could have it,
I'm
many
sure the police
opportunities.
force would get him
Here's the thing.
if
Well,
they
that-
could find him.
maybe I don't have to kill him, but maybe cut off his arms and legs.
Maim him.
Yeah. Right. You could do that.
I don't need a motivated Joker. That's the last thing I need. I don't need to
Yeah,
cut off his
that's
arms and
true.
legs and have him become bionic Joker.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
And then just to show me why I shouldn't have done that.
Yes!
It'll be even worse.
It'll
than
be even
that.
worse. He'll kill billions of people. He'll
Yeah.
unmake reality. He'll become the snake that devours the earth.
Yeah, but like, what's he gonna do?
I don't know. I don't want to know. So forget it. And so there it is. Flash terminal velocity. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I'm a fan.
Perfect name too.
Oh, I know.
Terminal velocity.
Yeah, they're like, you know, Wade's like, oh my god, I can't believe nobody's used this. Yes, jackpot. So many times when Wade's writing, things like fall into place where you're like, I can't believe nobody thought of that.
Yeah, because he runs so fast, he dies.
He dies. It's this terminal.
Yes. Ah! Yeah, I know.
Genius.
But we'll
Well,
see,
like,
guys.
he comes back, so it's like not that term.
Yeah,
Well, it would be.
he does reach it.
He
No,
believes
hits
it. Well, yeah.
terminal velocity.
And he goes to heaven, so he dies.
Right? He does die. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading. So there it is.
Yeah, that was a fun book.
It's fun.
I
Yeah.
like that book.
Yeah.
It was good.
I feel like it's. I mean, you know, like Johnny Quick doesn't really come up, but he's on the page. Yeah. It's like you don't need every. You don't.
It
like,
definitely
look,
suffers from like too much flashism.
too many flashes, but also it's about that. But like, here's what you needed to do. If Mark Wade's interested in any 35-year-old notes,
Here's how you could fix.
here's how you could fix
terminal
this.
velocity.
You don't have all the flashes. Like you have no J. You have to you cut J out.
Get rid of J.
All
He
the
doesn't
beginning.
do anything useful.
Doesn't do anything up to the point. Johnny out. Jesse in, because you need that misdirect.
Yeah, and
Impulse
she has a
in.
real role.
And she has a role. Impulse in.
Yes.
And Max, you use even less than you do. Like Max shows up in opportune and inopportune times, fine, but don't have him stay.
Yeah.
You know, have him leave, almost like he's like a phantom.
Yeah.
And then, when you get to the end with the dome, all the flashes come. You know? Then they all converge. So the moment's more meaningful
They
and
show
more
up
exciting.
and they're like, I'm here too.
Right, and
Yeah, then you can have Jay, then you can have Max.
Yes,
Yeah.
and all
they
of them are there, and they
Care Bear
all
stare at the dome or whatever.
well, they all do something.
Or they
useful.
save people from falling buildings. and
Yes,
crap.
they saw people. They create a tunnel from the dome. They evacuate people. They save buildings.
Because there's thousands of people you need to save. You need a whole bunch of
Yeah, and
flashes.
you can
One
have, like-
flash can't do it all.
Right, and so you have a key moment for every flash, something really triumphant and fun for each of them to do, and have each of them be hurt in some significant and career-ending way, so that Wally can save even more people using the Speed Force.
Right. Yeah, you think they're like cleaning it up. We're getting rid of all these flashes. We're crippling
Yes,
all
like you
of
think,
them.
like, oh, we killed Wally. Maybe we'll kill all. Maybe this is like the wild bunch of Flash books.
Yeah.
Or they're all going to try
like,
and run real fast and they'll all get sucked
Right, like
into it.
the only Flash you're getting, we're gonna Kyle Rayner this, where it's
Yeah.
like your only Flash will be Impulse, and you'll have to freaking deal
It's a
with it.
new flash, and that's it. It's
Right.
too complicated.
Yes, and you could believe it because it's all because
they do that shit.
because Clark's got a mullet, and
It
Kyle
steals
exists.
a character in this book.
Yeah, like all that happened.
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, we're Death is Supermaning Flash.
I'm like, nah, we're not doing that.
Hello.